Now for the next DIY, I wanted to make a sign for my kitchen. I'm going to use one of their wood rounds and one of their wood squares, and we're going to put them all together. Now the wood round is almost the perfect size for one of those lemon napkins. I don't want this outer sign to have holes in it, so I did use a little spackle to fill those up because I want this to be a complete lemon. So I'm going to be doing decoupage with the lemon napkins, but this time I'm going to be using the entire lemon. And so I just open it up, use a little painter's tape to help me get that second layer off and just peel that off. Now I'm going to attach this with Mod Podge. I put Mod Podge all over the wood round, fairly thin. And I do get a little bit of wrinkling with this, but I don't really mind. I think it actually kind of provided a little bit more character. Maybe if I would have ironed the napkin first, it might have been a little bit easier not to get any. But I just kind of lay that down as quickly as I can on there and try to smooth it out with a dry paper towel. Again, I want to try not to tear the napkin at all. And as you can see, it's a little bit larger than the wood round from the Dollar Tree. So most of the lemon rind is going to be removed when I sand off the excess paper. And I'm going to show you how I go about fixing that because I do want it to have a little bit of a lemon rind on there. I just go around with my sanding sponge and cut that off all the way around. And I'm going to do a little bit of touch up here around the edges where I think it might need a little bit more. I think I might have used a little bit too much Mod Podge because as you can see, the napkin really wanted to start bubbling up on me. So I definitely need to make sure this is really dry before I go over it. But I just felt like there were some areas that needed a little Mod Podge on top too. And so I just tried to do that as carefully as I could. And my lemon print is a little off. I don't know if the napkin's like that or if it's the way that I laid it on there. As you can see, it's a little bit lopsided. And I also want to add the rind on there. So I'm just going to fix both of those with paint. I just take some bright yellow acrylic paint and a tiny paintbrush from the Dollar Tree. And as you can see, I am just painting that on, kind of painting towards myself, making little brush marks all the way around. So it's really kind of jagged like a lemon rind would be. And it's going to give me that pop of yellow and really finish off the lemon since I did cut off all of the rind there. And I just do that all the way around. Now I'm going to be layering two signs together. So the lemon sign is going to be on the front, and on the back, I'm going to want it to look like those beautiful Mediterranean blue tiles. So I have a plan for that as well. Now the yellow rind almost touches the inside of the yellow lemon there. So I did go in with a little bit of white just to make a little bit of a gap there just because that was bothering me. And I do end up sealing that in a minute with some Mod Podge so the paint kind of blends in with the napkin a little bit more. But I'm happier with it like that. And we can start on our back sign. This is a square sign from the Dollar Tree. Sometimes these are definitely more bowed than others. I'm going to try to iron it actually with my heat press, and it did seem to work a little bit. Now for the blue and white tile, I'm using one of these bags I got from the Dollar Tree, and I am just cutting the sides off. I just want a panel, and I've used this previously for other DIYs. So what I'm going to do is just cut a little panel like that that's going to be large enough to cover the entire sign. So I did iron both sides of that. It did seem to help. And I'm just going to lay this on the back of the Dollar Tree little tote bag and sketch that out with a pencil so I'll know where to cut that down to size. This material is like a glossy material. It's really easy to cut. And it's clean too because it's so sealed. It's like a glossy bag. And I just cut down into a square to cover the sign. Now, I wasn't sure how well Mod Podge would hold this because it's such a slippery material. So I wanted something a little stronger. So I'm going to use some Dollar Tree tacky glue for this and just make sure that I have a pretty good coat all over. Spreading that out with a sponge just so I have glue everywhere. And then I'm just going to lay this material right on top. You could also use the backsplash for this from the Dollar Tree. The colors are very similar. You could have individual tiles, but I thought this looked really pretty too, and it goes really well with the theme. I'm going to go ahead and poke some holes through that material where the holes in the board sign are because I am going to have a hanger on this one since I don't have a hanger on the lemon that we're going to attach to the front. And to be able to thread that through and make it easier, I just add a little hot glue to the ends of the hanger that came with the sign, and I'm going to tie it onto the back. I normally don't tie it onto the back, but I thought it might get into the way of the lemon, and so I don't want that to happen, so I just tie a simple hanger like that. And here is our pop of yellow with our lemon sign to go on front. So bright and cheerful. I just use hot glue on the back of my wood round lemon to attach that, and it fits perfectly. The signs, as you can see, are the same size, so that just works really well together. I love it. I think it's really pretty. And I am just going to seal this one little part here where I painted just to seal that to make that all the same sheen, I guess. And then for the ribbon for the top, I'm going to use some of the mesh ribbon from the Dollar Tree in white and just make a simple little faux bow here with 2 loops and 2 tails. And I'm going to attach that to the hanger with just some twine, really easy. No need to zip tie or anything. I just bunch this together and take a piece of twine and tie that off to the hanger right here in the middle. I chose the white mesh ribbon just because I thought it would go well with all of the white in the sign. And it's going to be a fun decorative bow, but it's not going to take away from the beauty, I think, of this project. And it looks great hanging next to my table in my kitchen. Just making sure that my bow is even here and that my tails are about the same length. And I think that's perfect. We have a little lemon sign. The colors are perfect. It really goes with my kitchen table and my theme. And this is what it looks like hanging in my dining room for summer. I love those napkins. So fun to be able to DIY with those.